Hello everyone, a very good morning. I welcome all of you to today's class which is based on interview skills. I am Dr. Sulagna Mohanty, Assistant Professor, Department of Language, Culture and Society, SRM Institute of Science and Technology. So these are the learning outcomes by the end of this chapter, what we are going to learn about interview skills. And with that note, let's start today's class. So, things to know. Now, what is the meaning of things to know? Whenever we go for an interview, for a professional interview, what are the things that we must know? The first thing we must know is self. How much we know about us. Because when we know about us, we will come to the next point, the strengths. We will get to know what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. What are the horizons? That is the third point. Means knowing what is out there. Suppose I'm going for a job interview. There is a job responsibility for me, right? So, what is the horizon of that job? Where this job can take me to? And then your network. Who are there in your network? Who are your peers? Who are your seniors? Who are those people who can help you in this journey? So, these are a few things we must know before you go for an interview. Now, what is knowing about yourself? It means I have already told you about your strength, your weakness, but at the same time, we will organize ourselves, we will prepare ourselves, and basically, we will sell ourselves. It might sound very bad to sell yourself, but always understand when we write a resume, because before going to this interview, obviously, we have written our resume and we have sent, so that is a kind of brochure for us. That is a kind of advertisement for us. And here in this interview, we will try to sell ourselves. When we say sell ourselves, it means sell our skills. Sell our skills, our talent for this particular job. Next comes knowing your strengths. I have already told you knowing your strength as well as knowing your weaknesses are extremely important. Correct? Then comes knowing your horizon. What is going to expand your horizon? What is going to open new doors for you? How through this in interview you are going to increase your experience. All these things are extremely important. And then comes networking. Who will be there to develop your professional network? Who will be there to help you professionally? All these things are extremely important to understand. Now we will see the purpose of an interview. What is the basic purpose of this interview? It is an explanation of your CV or your application information. I have already told you that when we have written a CV or a resume and have set it to a company, then what exactly we are doing? We are writing a kind of brochure about ourselves. So here we are going to explain that whatever we have written about us is actually true or not. There we will be demonstrating our skills and our attitude for the job by giving answers to their questions. And we are there to make a good impression. The kind of impression they will have about us in the interview will take us further. Now we have got a mail that we have been invited for an interview. Now what is the next thing we are going to do? We are going to prepare straight away. We are going to prepare for our interview. So after receiving an invitation for the interview, what are we going to do? The first thing we will do is to check time and date of the interview. We will not make any mistake about the date and time. And then something very important, and student usually miss this. Respond, not if necessary. You respond to the employer, you respond to that mail that you are coming for the interview. They should also know that how many candidates are coming, because it is possible that if you do not reply to them, do not respond to them, again they might send you another mail that please confirm if you are attending the interview. So to avoid that and to look extremely professional, when you are getting this kind of an interview, you must reply that I am attending this interview. Next, what we will do next, and as a part of our research. Now here the first research, it might sound very silly but extremely important. Find the location of the interview and plan your journey. Always remember that we are living in a time where even the city life where we are living, it's so busy, and traffic is an everyday part of our life. So you never know when you would get late for the interview, and I'm sure that nobody wants to get late for their interview, because it is going to affect your first impression. So find out the location of the interview. We have Google Map. Use your Google Map, and then according to that place you plan your journey. How are you going to visit there? How, if you are going to take public transport, if you are going to take your own transport, if you are going to call a taxi, whatever it is, but you must plan it. And reread the job advertisement and the job description. Next, the research part would be your job description. So where you have joined, so when you are planning to go to that company, where that company has started, about the company, research about the company, who are the heads who will be handling your department, and your job description. So you must know the important people over there, and you must prepare the question and answers, the probable question and answer, and the tentative question and answers, which are which might come in the interview, and you must prepare for that. Here's something I would like to tell you, that uh, as a student, please don't wait for the final semester to create your LinkedIn account. You must have your LinkedIn account from the first semester of your engineering. So start your LinkedIn account, and whatever is your domain, and you must be having some dream companies in your mind, right? So this is the company where I would like to work. So please follow those companies on LinkedIn, because usually what happens that these days they put most of the important information about their companies on basically on LinkedIn. So you don't have to go to Google and search for the latest information. You can always go to their LinkedIn profile and you can check all the information. You can always go to Google for sure for the latest information, but LinkedIn is also going to be extremely helpful for you. So when I'm talking about researching the job and company, it should not start only before going to the interview, but from the very beginning, you can do a little bit of job and company search and research on LinkedIn from the beginning of your engineering career. Then there are lots of questions available on internet on tentative questions and answers, and you can always start preparing. And like presentation skills, where we had discussed that we can practice with our friends, here also you can take help of your peers, and you can practice that interview with your friends, where both of you can take turn and ask each other questions. And sometimes you can be the interviewer, your friend can be the interviewee, and some other, and then you can just exchange the role, and the other person can be the interviewer and you can be the interview. It is going to be very much helpful. Then the night before the interview, what exactly we are going to do? Prepare for interview clothes. Please understand this first impression, and it is a formal setting. Like we had discussed how appearance and attire should be for presentation. For interview also, it is extremely important. So in interview, you will go with formal clothes, and you must not spend too much of time on the morning of interview. So please prepare before night, and organize all your certificates, because it is extremely important. And not only certificate, also take the printout of your latest resume, and not only one printout but minimum of 3 printouts, because you never know how many printouts they might need. So please take your certificates, if they want original, as well as you must take photocopies, and also the printouts of your latest resume. And then practice your answers to likely questions or tentative questions. So you must prepare for that. Managing time is extremely important. Time management is extremely important, because most of the time in our resume we write that time management is my strength. So it will really look bad if we write time management as our strength, and then we go late, and then we cut a sorry figure there, that I'm so sorry, I was stuck in the traffic and I couldn't come, or I was stuck in the lift. So we will not do that. It will never harm us if we go there before 1 hour or 40 minutes or 30 minutes and just wait there. So please set your alarm and get to sleep early, wake up early, and get up with plenty of time, so that you can prepare well and you can go. Always try to arrive there before a few minutes. One before 1 hour is also fine, as extremely um, uh, feasible, if we have a little bit of time management. Then comes the first impression that I keep on talking about. Four things are extremely important. The first one is touch, second one is eye contact, third one is name, and fourth one is smile. Because see, greeting and introduction, which is a part of touch. So there is only one chance to make a good first impression. What does it mean? We cannot have that second impression, right? We don't have that chance. So for that, we will dress appropriately, because we have already selected what we are going to wear. We will wear something formal and extremely comfortable, where we are comfortable, and we will smile. We will maintain eye contact with them, and there will be a firm handshake. Please see that when they handshake with us, it is not only a greeting, but also they want to see that how confident we are. So when we have a firm handshake, it shows that we are confident. So with a firm handshake, we can show that we are poised and we are confident. And then our body language. So there are 4 pictures of a girl sitting. So if you look at the first picture, you know that what we should do and what we should not. So sit up straight. When we must sit, we should sit up straight. We should maintain eye contact. So please also understand that when we were discussing presentation, I had told you that when you are giving a presentation, we do not look at only one person. We look at the audience. We look at more than one person. We look at different people while speaking. In the same way, in the interview, if one person has asked us any question, not necessarily when we are answering we will only look at that person. We will look at each and every person in the panel. So each and every panel member should have our eye contact, and we will smile. We will look enthusiastic, as if we are extremely passionate and enthusiastic to get the job. And we can also use our hand gesture, not much, but when we are trying to explain something, we can always do. And we will not slouch, we will not stare at them, we will not frown and make different kind of facial expressions, or we will not fidget, means we will not play with our clothes, or we will not play with our fingers like that, because it shows that we are not confident. Then let's have a look at the different kind of interview styles. One to one, which is mostly it is the HR round where the HR manager sits with you and talks about the salary. But remember that one to one means only one interviewer and one interviewee. Then comes the panel interview, and panel interview is the most common interview, because in panel interview, what happens? People they have their subject expert, they have the technical expert, and they have different management people in the panel, and they all come together and they try to uh, take the interview. So this is known as panel interview. Then comes a group interview, where it is not usually common, but all the people sitting together and asking question. It is usually taken when they want to see that whether you are a team member or not, whether the collaboration, where the collaboration is the most important thing, there may be this kind of interview will be taken, but it is not very common. So when the assessment will happen, it might have psychometric tests if they want to see if you are good at decision making, how is your critical thinking or your emotional intelligence, then your social side, then how you present or give presentation. Suppose your leadership has to be checked, then those kind of question will also come in the interviews. Group exercise can happen if they want to see that if you are a team player. So all these kind of assessment will be taken. And then we will see some basic interview questions. Some basic interview questions like, tell me about yourself, why have you applied for this job, what can you bring to this company, can be asked. These are very common and most probably they will come in the interview. So you can prepare for it, and let me tell you, please be extremely honest. Don't try to memorize any answer. You can memorize maybe some phrases, good phrases that you can use, but basically when you are speaking, it should be very honest. And when somebody says, tell me about yourself, you need not give a kind of answer that what is your name and what is your age. You can just say what is relevant, your name, from where you are, where are you staying right now. If you are working, while giving the interview, if you are working somewhere, you can say, or if it is your first job interview, then where you have studied, that can also be told. So only give this relevant information. If they want something more, they will ask from their side. So you need not worry. Why have you applied for this job is another very important question, because it shows your passion for this job. How much passionate you are for this job, why you have applied, and what can you bring to this company. This is also extremely important because it shows your uniqueness, because you are not the only one who has applied for this job. Like you, there are maybe hundreds of other applicants. When they ask you this question, they are trying to fathom, they are trying to measure, they are trying to judge that how are you different from others. So be extremely careful when you are answering this kind of question. What can you bring to this company means how you are different from the other applicants, and what is the new thing or the unique thing you can bring to this company, and that sets you apart from the rest of the herd. So please try to understand the meaning behind these questions and try to answer. Now, when we look at this a different kind of mistakes usually students do, don't be negative. Don't say, suppose you are working somewhere and then they ask this question that why do you want to leave the previous company. Never be negative that, oh, it was bad or something happened. No, you just say that you are looking for better opportunity and you want to explore or expand your horizon, like that. When you are speaking, don't show a lack of confidence. It is possible that you won't be knowing some answer. It is not always possible that you know every answer, but even though you don't know, don't show a lack of confidence. Just say sorry, because a sorry also also shows that you are willing to learn. You can always say, sorry, I don't know, but I will do my research on this. Then don't show a lack of preparation. Be prepared, because that is the most important thing. And even if you don't know, say sorry, as I told, and you can move on. Instead of using we, you can always say I while giving example. I have done that, like that. And don't leave your personality at the door. Means be genuine, be sincere. Don't be another person while giving the interview. Be yourself. That is the biggest thing. And at the end, they might ask you some kind of question, that is there any question you want to ask us. So in this kind of a question, you can say that what kind of training will I receive if I get selected, or what will be the challenges I might face in my new job, or when I can hear that I have been successful, means I have cracked the interview. So this kind of very basic question you can ask. Please do not ask if I have when what is my salary, or in when am I going to get my salary, in the first week of the month or the last week of the month. All those questions you should not ask. You will be having HRA around where you can ask those questions. So these are all the key notes for our interview skills, and I hope that you enjoyed this session and all your questions are answered, and you will have a proper preparation when you go for your interview. If you have any question, you can always ask, you can always post it, and I will get back to you. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. We will meet in the next class. Thank you, everyone.